If you guys want to see my final review on this hair, just stay tuned. Okay, so welcome again everyone to my channel, and I just want to thank you for the subscribers that I have gotten since then. And if you're new to this channel, I just want you to hit the subscribe button so you can tune into any new videos that I bring you. And I just want to wish you all a happy new year, since this is my first video since the beginning of the year. So now on to the review, because I know you guys didn't just come on to talk and hear me ramble. So this right here that she's currently rocking is the mostly the all Majestic all virgin hair in lengths 24, 22, and a half of a 20. So we're gonna get through the whole review, and I want to apologize if this video goes a little bit lengthy because we have a lot to cover. Because in my reviews, I just kind of want to go in depth and in detail about what is it that we went through this whole process of the hair. So like I'm saying, I'll probably link it in the description box below. When I first did the install and that first video that you saw, it has changed since then because we removed the Enoya bundle, and that hair, what's the word? It was, wow, it tangled a lot. And I know, well let's say the reason how it tangled. So she went into the pool thinking she was cute, and by the time she came out, whatever, and by the time she came out, it was like in knots of like dreadlocks. When she came home, they looked like big huge locks in her hair, and I wasn't as sure first if it was the Enoya hair that was the problem or if it was the Majestic all virgin hair. But how I made the unit first was I started off with the 24 from Majestic, then I did the 22 from Majestic, then I did the 22 from Enoya, then I ended it with the half a bundle because I kind of wanted it to flow in, because the textures never really matched on point. The Enoya hair was a wee bit more curlier, because you can probably tell from the video, and if you do watch it you'll see it, that you can tell the difference between it. It's not like noticeable, but I can tell. So it was like slightly a little bit curlier, and so most of the matting was happening in that area right there where I had installed Enoya. So I pretty much figured it had to be the Enoya. So after we removed the unit and I tried to co-wash it and detangle it while it was in the conditioner, it was a headache, and I'm gonna show you guys the shedding that I got from that. See this mess? You see this mess? You see this mess? This was the shedding that I got from all of that. That's pretty much just this probably like I know, right? That's what I say. This is a bundle of hair right here already. This is the shedding that I got from there. So I removed the Enoya hair, and let me rewind and take that back. When I got the hair, remember how it had that kind of like a spiral type of a curl, and I was kind of worried about it. When I washed the hair, and I do suggest all you ladies, when you first get your hair, whether it be from the beauty supply store or you buy from one of these vendors, that you wash and condition your hair when you get it. And the reason why I'm saying this is because when I got the hair, when I washed it, the water was brown, and it wasn't brown because it was dye coming. It was brown because of probably dirt. It was probably dirty, whatever chemicals that they may have used to cleanse the hair or treat the hair with. Probably was left in the hair, probably was giving the hair that coarse feeling that I was feeling when I initially received the hair. So when I washed and conditioned the hair, the curl pattern changed, and it left from being that curl to more tighter curls. I'm going to show you what the hair looks like now and how it would look like pretty much by the end of the day, because this hair was thirsty. It wanted water and moisture all the time, and it was thirsty. So this is pretty much the hair, what it would look like at the end of the day, dry like this. And you know, yeah, could you imagine you're leaving your home with nice curls, and by the end of the day it looks like this, and it's softer than what it was before. And I also did seal the weft, let me say, because it was shedding quite a bit before I installed it, and I was worried about the shedding. So I did seal this. So I'm one strand. I don't know if you can see this, or one strand, but it's probably breakage more than shedding. But so it hasn't really shed since, or shed as much, minimal shedding, since I did seal it. So that's that. With the frontal, so now with the frontal, it. Let me start with the pros on the frontal. So with the frontal, it remains soft. It still remains soft. It was beautiful, easy to work with, very soft, very nice, and it never shed. It didn't shed. So those are my pros for the frontal. Now with the cons, I bought loose wave, but by the time I washed it after making the wig, it pretty much fell into this piece. Let me show you. This is the frontal, and this is what it fell into. This was no longer that loose wave that it was. This is pretty much now a body wave of some sorts, and it probably took this shape because we brushed it into the rest of this hair, so it ended up mimicking that shape. But if you get this, it's the loose wave texture bundle to go with this. It's not gonna match. It's not it, and that was just my only con. No, so now that we took this bundle out, so pretty much what is mostly left is the Majestic all virgin hair. And to talk about that a little bit, the hair, it doesn't shed as much, because when she mostly detangles it in the morning, it's like a few strands of hair left in the brush, but I must say that's mostly breakage than anything, because the hair also is a little bit thirsty. This hair does need moisture a lot. It's at this point, I think it needs to wash. And let me see if I can, I can run my fingers through it. Nothing. Again, nothing. So it doesn't really shed. So the hair is just that it's a little bit thin for my liking. Like I said, if you want a little bit more fuller look, I would suggest you guys, if you're gonna get the lengths that she has in, you go with 4 bundles. Now I did put a curl in it just to see how it curls, and it does curl well, and it does straighten well. But don't ask me to straighten or curl this hair, because I'm not going to. I kind of like the pattern that it is, and excessive flat iron will loosen the wave, and it's already loose as it is, and I kind of like it. So and just to let you know, my friend, remember I told you that she had only half of a 20, and we couldn't figure out where the other half was, and we thought that the hairdresser might have stolen it. But she didn't, because she ended up finding it. So sorry, hairdresser. So I'm gonna show you. Sorry for putting you on blast like that, but this is the actual other half of the 20, and she found it. So this is the other half that's left, and it is extremely soft. So this is pretty much unused, so I can tell that it's extremely soft. It does have this kind of a smell to it that, like, I guess beauty supply store smell in a way. Nothing bad, nothing funky. Smell like, nothing bad, nothing funky, but it's pretty. It's really pretty. It's a pretty wave, and it's very, like I said, extremely soft. And initially it doesn't have all that flyaways like it did when I was telling you. So most of the flyaways that I was seeing when I got it was because of her, because due to the breakage of it. Now I must say the hair does mat in the back, quite some. You can see that? I can't really, it does get a little bit tangly in there, and it's probably mostly due because, like I said, the hair is thirsty and it needs attention. So I would say this hair is a high maintenance hair that's going to require some co-washing every once, maybe twice a week, so because how she normally, I'm gonna let you talk. You sitting there looking all pretty like a doll. How do you go to bed with it? Tell people your experience with the hair.
Okay, well, for the most part, I had like a lot of compliments on it. Like, nobody really knew it was wasn't my hair. Like, they figured, because I mean, no one grows this length of hair overnight. So like, oh, it's so pretty. And I'm like, thanks and such. It tangled a lot. It did. So I would have to comb it out every night and like put a little moisture in there, and then I braided it and went to sleep like that. But when you wake up in the morning and you pull it out, it's like there's tangles in there again. Like, where did these come from? But that's okay, I guess. I went out once, and it was like a lot of sweating. And when I came home, it was the same knots. I didn't tell you, I'm sorry. It was a lot of knots, and I was pulling on it a lot, so I guess it looks a little bit thinner than how I left it. But it was a lot of knotting. But it looks natural, and I like it. I like the wave. I like how soft it is. And I love how when I comb it out, I can just put water in there and scrunch it up, and it gets this pretty curl. I love that about it. So,
would I recommend Enoya? And I do plan on possibly purchasing from them again, but maybe a different texture. This video, I would say, by all means, not to bash the company, because I do like the company. They have really excellent customer service, and for that, it would entice me to want to purchase from them again, but for a different texture. I do say they need to brush up on their quality control. I will say that, and I hope that if they do watch this video, that is something that they do take away from it, that, you know, their quality control probably needs to be brushed up a lot, because I think because of the hair, if you can see how thin it goes to the end, like it's really mad super thin. So for me to use this bundle, I would have to cut off like 4 inches of it. So from a 22 inch, I'm now rocking a 16 inch essentially, and I don't think that's cost effective. I bought a 22, I need a 22, and I want it to be full from root to tip. So I think, you know, because of all the flyaways that was initially in there, I think that caused a lot of the tangling and the matting that this hair normally gets. With the frontal again, I say it's a decent frontal, but it's not the texture that I was intending on getting. You know, all in all, I'll give Enyoa 1 thumbs up. You know, 1 thumbs up, or on a star scale, I'll give them a 3 stars. You know, and it's mostly their customer service that's pushing that. For Majestic, I'll go ahead and I'll give Majestic also a 1 thumb up, and I'll give them a 4 stars. I'll give them 4 stars only because it's beautiful and it is soft, and the luster is nice. It's not high in luster at all, if you guys can see, because this is in natural lighting, so as you guys can see, it gives that very natural luster appearance. So the luster is nice, and all in all, I would recommend you purchase. Kind of wanted to come back and show you guys what it looked like after I deconstructed the unit, washed and conditioned it. So these are the products that I use to do that. It's the Organics Biotin and Collagen. You guys can see there. So starting off with the Enoya here, this is what the bundle looks like after I have washed and conditioned it. As you can see, it's a big change from what it looked like when I initially got it to what I showed you guys when it's dry. So this is how it would look when she would leave the house. You know, very beautiful curls. It's very soft. I can run my fingers through it. As for the frontal, I'm gonna show you. This is a bit shocking. Now this is the frontal, and this is what I'm talking about, how after 1 wash it just went into this straight pattern, like this natural straight pattern, just like this. And it did shed as well during the wash process. Majestic hair, very beautiful, still very soft. I can run my hands through it, no shedding at all. I must say, after washing it and conditioning it, it has become more coarse, but not coarse in a bad way. I love the texture of it. It's not as silky as it was, but it's still soft. Very beautiful hair. Look at that. Look at it, the luster in the natural lighting. Very beautiful luster. As for next time, I think I'm going to go with a full lace frontal, only because the silk base, it just gave you a demarcation line with the lace and the silk meet, and then you have another demarcation line where the lace and your skin meets. Too much demarcation lines to try to cover up. And go ahead and give me some thumbs up on this video and share, you know, with your family or friends if you found this video useful. And if you guys have any questions, let me know in the description box below, because I felt like I was pretty detailed, but if I did left anything out, just let me know and I'll be glad to answer your questions. So until next time, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys. Bye.